Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Western adventure from Dodge City, Kansas. William Conrad starring as Marshal Matt Dillon in an episode of Gunsmoke about Mavis McCloud. This episode was originally broadcast August 16th, 1954.
Gunsmoke. Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of gun smoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely. Oh, hello, Doc.
You had breakfast yet?
I'm waiting for Chester to get back from the depot. Somebody told him there's a telegram for me.
Telegram? You should have left it there, Matt.
What?
A telegram usually means somebody's coming to Dodge looking for you, or that you've got to go somewhere and look for them. Either way, it spells trouble.
Well, if it wasn't for trouble, Doc, I wouldn't have a job.
But then you ought to quit. It's a poor thing when a man has to make his living off of other people's troubles.
Oh? Tell me, Doc, how long has it been since anybody came to you and told you how good they were feeling, huh?
Say, now. Oh, I hadn't thought about it. Well, I guess we're pretty much alike after all, man. Well, hello, Chester.
Hello, Doc.
I got it, Mr. Dillon.
Well, what are you looking so glum about, Chester? What does it say?
Yeah. You better read it. It's kind of private-like.
Huh? U.S. Marshal, Dodge City, Kansas. Coming to get married. Noon train Saturday. Meet me. Signed, Mavis McCloud.
Oh, Mavis McCloud. Oh, that's a right pretty name. Oh, she's pretty, too. See, where's she from, anyway?
You really gonna get married, Mr. Dillon?
You're pretty foxy, Matt, keeping this so quiet.
Now, wait a minute, you two. If you're all through talking, I'll tell you something.
Yes. Quiet, Chester. This is an important moment.
Well, I'm listening.
All right. Now, this may be kind of a shock to you, but since you're both friends of mine, I thought it'd be best that you be the first to know.
Yes, Matt.
I am not about to get married, and what's more, I never heard of any Mavis McCloud.
What?
Well, she still might be pretty, man.
I don't care if she looks like Lily Langtree.
Well, but, Mr. Dillon, ain't you even gonna meet her?
Well, I may meet her, but right now, let's go get some breakfast and talk about something else, huh?
Oh, look at that, Mr. Dillon. Straight up noon, and there comes a Santa Fe right on time.
Yeah.
What's troubling you, ain't it?
No. I think trains should run on time, Chester.
Yes, sir, that's what I mean. Hey, look. There's Miss Kitty going into the depot there, see?
What? Chester.
No, sir, Mr. Dillon. I swear I haven't said a word to her about this. She's probably expecting some mail or packages or something. Anyway, she didn't see it. Say, how are we going to tell Mavis McCloud from anybody else?
I don't know.
Look at there. There's a girl. Would that be her?
Well, I told you I never even heard of her, Chester. How would I know what she looks like?
That little girl's right pretty, Mr. Dillon. She's the only female there.
Okay, let's go ask her.
I'd judge her to be about 18, wouldn't you?
Yeah, about.
Oh, my. I say, she is pretty.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
I'm Matt Dillon.
Oh. Well, maybe you can help me.
Or maybe.
I'm looking for the U.S. Marshal here. Do you know him?
Oh, I'm the marshal.
Oh, you are? Well, then you got my telegram.
Yes, I did. I said that's right. You didn't have my name on it, did you?
Well, of course not. How would I know your name? Oh, my goodness. You didn't think I was coming to marry you, did you? Oh, how awful. I mean, how awful for you.
Well, I'm still a little confused, Miss McCloud. Excuse me. This is Chester Proudfoot.
How do you do, Chester?
I'm proud to know you, ma'am. Miss.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Marshal Dillon. I guess I should have explained more in the telegram.
That's all right. Who did you come here to marry?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, not yet. I just got here. You two are the only man I've met.
Chester.
Yes, sir?
Yeah, go over to the depot there and see if you can find Kitty, will you?
Yes, sir. I sure will.
Tell me something, Mavis. How old are you?
I'll be 19 in December.
Uh-huh. Where are you from?
I won't tell you.
Well, why not?
Because it isn't polite for a gentleman to ask a lady so many personal questions.
All right. But why did you send me that telegram?
Because I thought I'd be safe with you helping me.
Well, helping you do what?
Get married. Oh, don't look like that. I'm not crazy. They need women out here, don't they? Well, don't they?
Yeah. They need them.
And I'll make a good wife, too. But, of course, it'll have to be the right man, Marshal. I won't marry just anybody, you know. And you can stop shaking your head like that.
I found her, Mr. Dillon.
Oh, Matt.
Oh, Kitty, this is Mavis McCloud.
Hello, Mavis. Welcome to Dodge.
Why, thank you, Kitty.
Kitty.
I know, Matt. Chester told me all about it. Don't mind the Marshal, Mavis. Sometimes he's a little slow to understand these things.
He most certainly is. Why, he's been looking at me as though I were a bug of some kind.
You take care of her, will you, Kitty? And I'll go try to figure something out.
She'll be okay, Matt.
And, Kitty, don't...
don't worry. I won't take her to the Texas Trail.
Yeah, good. You let me know if you need anything, Mavis. Besides a husband, I mean.
August 16th, 1954, Gunsmoke on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Whether you're taking your pets on the road or a walk around the block, you need to be aware of heat stroke. Hi, I am Dr. Jose Arce, immediate past president of the American Veterinary Medical Association. It's important that pets get out and enjoy the warm weather and fresh air, but here are some reminders to help keep your pets safe in the heat. Tune into the day's forecast to see how hot it will be. Limit exercise on hot days or schedule walks earlier or later on the day when it's cooler. If outside, stay on the grass instead of the hot pavement. Make sure your pet has unlimited fresh water and access to shade. Never leave your pet in a closed vehicle, and leave your pet at home in air conditioning when you go out. If you see signs of heat strokes in your pet, such as excessive panting, drooling, unsteadiness, or abnormal gum and tongue color, call your veterinarian or nearest emergency clinic. For more info on summer pet safety, visit avma.org. That's avma.org.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Gunsmoke, August 16th, 1954.
The next few weeks, I thought and worried about Mavis a lot. But I should have known I was wasting my time. She met a young fellow called Barney Wales, and 3 days later they got married. Kitty called it love at first sight. But anyway, I knew Barney, and he was a sober, hard-working cowboy who'd started a little spread of his own not far from Dodge. It was a good match, and it looked like they were going to make out fine. At least I thought so, until one day when I was sitting in the office trying to keep cool.
I'm looking for Marshal Dillon.
Oh, come in, fella.
It's not fella, it's Mister.
Oh? Remember that, huh, Chester?
Oh, yes, sir. I surely will.
From St. Louis, Marshal. Now, let's not waste any more time, if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind, Staley. Who are you looking for?
You know who I'm looking for. Mavis McCloud.
I thought so. Well, what do you want of her?
That's my business, Marshal.
Well, maybe.
Where is she?
Oh, what makes you think I'd know?
She sent you a telegram from St. Louis. I knew she was headed out here somewhere, so I checked. Mavis isn't the kind to arrive in a place unknown.
I see.
Well, are you going to tell me where she is?
Well, not till I know why you want to see her.
And I'll find her myself. She's around here somewhere.
She's married, Staley.
What?
She's married. Now, why don't you go on back to St. Louis and forget about it, huh?
Who'd she marry?
Oh, what difference does it make? You're not going to bother her.
We'll see about that. And meantime, I hold you responsible for this, Marshal.
Okay. Let's say I'm responsible. Why don't we settle it right now?
No. No, I'll find her first, Marshal. And after I've killed her husband, I'll come looking for you.
Well, forevermore. There's about the bloodthirstiest man I ever did see, Mr. Dillon. He's going to kill everybody.
Well, he might try it, Chester. I think I better ride out and talk to Barney Wales.
No, sir, not today.
What?
Well, Barney and Mavis, they're in town today. I seen them over at the Dodge house this morning. They're staying the night there.
Well, then I'll go find them there before Lou Staley does. Hello, Barney.
Marshal Dillon, come on in. Hey, Mavis, it's Marshal.
Hello, Marshal.
How are you, Mavis?
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, we're fine. Aren't we, Barney?
We sure are. You got to ride out and have dinner with us some Sunday, Marshal. Mavis here is the best doggone cook you ever saw.
It'd be strange if a girl from St. Louis couldn't cook.
Why'd you say that, Marshal?
Mavis ain't from St. Louis. Leastwise, she never told me she was.
It doesn't matter where I'm from, does it, Barney?
Of course not. But how'd the Marshal know?
There's only one way. Lou Staley told him.
Lou Staley? Who's he?
Well, I don't know, Barney, but he says he's going to kill you.
What?
For marrying Mavis.
Oh. He loves you, too. Is that it, Mavis?
No. Not exactly.
Well, what then?
I made up the name McCloud, Barney. My real name's Staley.
There's only one thing I want to know, Mavis.
Yes?
You love him?
I hate him.
Okay. Let him come, Marshal. I'll fight him.
No. No, you go out to your ranch. I'll take care of Staley.
I never run from a fight in my life, and I don't aim to start now.
Please, Barney,
It's
you
no
can't...
use arguing. If this Staley's looking for me, he can find me. What's he armed with, Marshal?
6-gun. Carries it in his belt.
Okay. I'll go about my business here like always. But I'll sure keep one eye open.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
Oh, hello, John.
Evening, Ma.
How are you, Kitty? I was in here with Chester a little earlier.
I took a walk after supper. Anything to stay out of this saloon for a while. What'd you want me for?
Well, there's a man over there at the bar, Kitty. That tall, dude-looking fella.
Huh?
You see him?
Who is he?
Well, his name's Lou Staley. Did you ever hear of him?
No?
Yeah. I thought maybe Mavis McCloud might have said something about him.
She's never mentioned him. But I've hardly seen her since she got married. What's it about, Matt?
Well, Staley's kind of disappointed over Mavis getting married. Says he's going to kill Barney and me and, well, I don't know who.
He is?
Yeah, he followed her out here from St. Louis.
So that's it. Jealous ex-lover, huh?
Mavis' real name is Staley, Kitty.
It is. Well, I guess Mavis kind of fooled all of us. I can understand Staley wanting to kill Barney.
That's not my business how Mavis messes up her life or anybody else's, but murder's wrong, Kitty. No matter what the cause, it's wrong.
Matt, look.
Yeah, I see her.
She's seen us, too.
Hello, Marshal. Kitty.
Sit down, Mavis.
You shouldn't be in here, Mavis.
I know, Kitty, but I had to come.
Where's Barney?
He's talking business with some cattle buyers over at the Dodge House. He doesn't know I'm here.
It's no place for you, you know.
It's good enough for Kitty, isn't it?
I work here. I explained all that to you.
Well, I didn't come here for fun. I ran into Chester out in the plaza, and he told me I'd find Lou Staley here. I've got to talk to him. Probably won't do any good, but I've got to try.
Well, he's over there at the bar.
I know, I saw him. But I didn't dare walk up to the bar, not with all those men watching.
Okay, Mavis, I'll get him. No, I guess I won't have to.
I knew I'd find you sooner or later, Mavis.
I want to talk to you, Lou.
It's too late for talk. I told you what I'd do, and I'm going to do it.
Lou, I want to talk to you alone.
Go out back, Mavis. The door's right over there. Nobody will bother you outside.
Come on, Lou.
Won't do any good, Mavis. You know it won't.
I don't like this, Kitty.
Why not? Talking's better than fighting, isn't it?
No, talking isn't going to stop him. You know, there's something wrong about him, Kitty. It's sort of like he can't hear or see anything but himself. Like he's all alone in the world.
Any man in love acts like that, man.
Well, maybe. But if I didn't think he'd just keep coming back, I'd tie him up and throw him on a train for back east.
Well, we should do something. Matt.
Yeah, come on.
Matt, look, it's Mavis.
Yeah. Mavis? Mavis?
Did he kill her?
No, she's still alive.
You go after Staley, Matt. I'll take care of her.
I'll get Staley, but I'm going to carry Mavis over to Doc's first. You better come along, Kitty.
Well, Mr. Dillon, that's the worst thing I ever heard of, shooting a woman.
Well, Doc says she's got a fair chance, Chester.
You're going to tell Barney about it, then go after Lou Staley, huh?
I'm going to do more than that.
You are? What?
You'll see.
Well, I hope Barney's still here at the Dodge House.
I hope so, too, Chester.
Maybe that's him standing over. I know that one fella. He's a cattle buyer.
Oh, there's Barney with his back to us.
I got better beef than that, but you're going to have to pay for it.
Oh, Barney.
Hi, Marshal.
There's a Marshal.
How are you, gentlemen?
What are you doing here, Marshal? Something wrong? There is, ain't there? I can tell.
Yeah, there's something wrong, Barney.
Well, what is it? Tell me. Where's Mavis?
Now, wait a minute, Barney. Look, do you trust me?
Well, sure I do, Marshal. Of course. Why shouldn't I?
Well, no reason, but I want you to think about it when you wake up. All right, gentlemen, don't interfere in something you don't know anything about. Chester.
Yes, sir.
Go get a rope and tie him up, but fix it so he can walk. And when he comes to, take him to jail.
Well, Mr. Dillon, he
Do it.
Okay, sir.
cattle buyers there not to say a word to anybody about Barney. And then I went out looking for Lou Staley. I tried every saloon and gambling house in Dodge. But finally I gave it up and went over to the jail and got Chester. It was past midnight when we entered the Dodge house once more, had a talk with the clerk, and then went up to Barney and Mavis' room.
You think Staley's run off, Mr. Dillon?
No, Chester, he won't run till he does what he came here to do. And here it is. Okay, get inside.
Yes.
All right, you stand over there, Chester, so you'll be behind the door when it opens, huh?
All right. Staley's sure going to be surprised if he does come here, ain't he?
Yeah, unless that clerk downstairs bungles it.
Well, all he's got to do is say Barney come in a while ago and went upstairs.
That sounds easy. But he might get scared and say anything.
What's there to be scared of a man who shoots women?
Now, the clerk doesn't know about that, Chester. And besides, Staley may be crazy, but he's armed and he's dangerous.
Yes, sir, I guess you're right.
August 16th, 1954, Gunsmoke here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion next.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medishare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Gunsmoke, August 16th, 1954.
Say, Barney galled when he come to and found himself all tied up. I had a terrible time with him. He blamed...
Wait a minute. Quiet, Chester.
You think it's him?
All right, Wales, you coward. Where are you?
Hold it right there, Staley. That's Doc's office at the top of the stairs, Barney.
She says Mavis is going to be okay, huh?
Yeah, she's doing fine. Now, here we are.
Wait a minute, Marshal.
Yeah?
About last night, I'd have found Lou Staley somehow, and I'd have killed him any way I could, Marshal.
It might have been murder, Barney.
Yeah. I guess this is the first time I ever thanked the man for knocking me out. Well, let's go on in now.
Hello, Matt. Barney?
Where's Mavis, Doc?
She's in the back room there. And except for a little fever, she's coming along fine, Barney.
Because you'll have to stay quiet for a few days. You can't be moving her around.
Oh, can I see her now, Doc?
Sure, go ahead. Mavis told me about the shooting, Matt. You know what happened?
No, what, Doc?
Well, she tried to take Staley's gun away from him, that's what. They were fighting over it, and it went off. He didn't try to kill her at all.
Huh? You know, it's funny about Staley.
What, man?
Now, most men would have tried to kill a wife that ran off and married somebody else.
Wife? Oh, now, you don't mean that. And Mavis seems like such a nice girl.
Now, you never know.
Marshal Dillon?
Yeah.
Mavis would like to see you.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Marshal.
Mavis?
There's something I want to tell you, Marshal.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie already knows. I told him yesterday after you left.
Now go on.
It's about Lou Staley. I know what you think, but I've known him all my life, Marshal. And Lou was crazy. There was something wrong with him. I guess I was ashamed of it, or I'd have told everybody sooner, especially Barney.
You're not responsible for his being crazy.
No, wait. Lou always did say he'd kill any man I married. That's why I ran away.
Now, you're asking an awful lot of him, Mavis, crazy or not.
Marshal. Lou Staley wasn't my husband. He was my brother.
Mavis, you've been nothing but trouble to me ever since I got that telegram. And I don't want to ever see you again. Unless it's across your dining room table some Sunday.
Gunsmoke, produced and directed by Norman McDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. Tonight's story was specially written for Gunsmoke by John Meston, with music composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Featured in the cast were Harry Bartell, Eleanor Tannen, and Sam Edwards. Harley Bear as Chester, Howard McNear as Doc, and Georgia Ellis as Kitty. Join us again next week as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal, fights to bring law and order out of the wild violence of the West in Gunsmoke.
August 16th, 1954, Gunsmoke on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, here's an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast August 16th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Hey, Skinny Malin, throw me the matches, would you?
Where are they? I don't see them.
On the mantel.
Mama, now how do you like that for laziness? I am to walk halfway across the living room because Sir David Norton is too lazy to walk 3 steps.
Typical male attitude.
I am sitting down. So, for me to get the matches would mean that I'd have to rise to my feet. So I would expend more energy than you would spend walking from the window to the mantel, collecting a kiss for your trouble, and walking back to the window.
Did you say that I would collect a kiss?
Every person has his price.
What makes you think a kiss is mine?
The look in your eye at the suggestion.
Listen to Mama. Mama's right. Mama's always right.
I think I'm too easy to get. I think I ought to give you the matches. I agree with you there. To conserve your energy.
Thank you.
But ask no price? No price at all.
Just as you like. But please, Claudia, before it's time for dinner, the matches.
Dinner isn't for another half hour.
No remarks from you, Mrs. Brown.
I shouldn't do it, I know. It's no way to hold a husband, I'm told. But here your matches, Catch.
Who told you what? Thanks.
Nobody, nothing. Welcome.
Have you been reading the Lovelorn column in the papers again?
They're fascinating, aren't they?
Oh, they're fascinating.
The troubles people can have.
My daughter is a ghoul.
She's just plain nosy.
There was a breathtaking one from a woman today, a wife.
There usually is.
She was worried.
What about?
I couldn't tell. About her marriage, I guess.
Well, what makes wives more as usually worried about is...
David, take the pipe out of your mouth. We can't understand you.
Not that we're interested.
I said that's what most wives are usually worried about.
What?
Their marriage.
Oh, that.
Mm-hmm.
Say, how'd we happen to be talking about that?
You brought it up.
I did not.
If that's all there is to be to this conversation, I'm going back to my knitting.
So long, Mama. I'm going back to my evening paper.
So long, David.
Oh, just when things were getting interesting. You mean you're both really not going to talk?
Really?
Really?
Then I might as well go back to my window and stare out into the dusk. Getting awfully darkish. Only in one part of the sky. I wonder what the world is like.
Hey, are you talking to yourself?
Well, it's better than nothing.
Is it?
David, what train will we take to New York tomorrow?
Oh, that's true. You're coming in, aren't you?
Time for me to see Dr. Rowland. 6 weeks since I've had the baby. Can you believe it?
I can believe it.
Any complaints, David?
No.
I feel as if we'd always had him. He's almost getting to be a habit. You know, actually, it's almost as if we didn't have a baby in the house now with Bertha.
It's a miracle the way that woman gets everything done.
Nothing left for me. David, you haven't said what train we're taking tomorrow, you know.
Well?
Just think, going to New York. To New York. A whole day with nothing to do.
You sound like a hick.
Don't I?
Mm.
David, listen, don't frown. I don't ever think of New York hardly at all. Believe me, I don't miss it. At all.
There's nothing wrong if you do.
I know it, but life is pretty full up here. Baby, Mama, Fritz, and Bertha. And remember, you promised me a pig.
In a moment of weakness.
In a moment of vision and inspiration. I wish the baby could notice what a beautiful evening it's going to be. So quiet, so pale. Say, is that Fritz up there around the barn?
Hmm?
Yeah, I guess it is. Honestly, he just hates to come in the house and call it a day, doesn't he?
I think I'll go up and have a word with him.
What about?
Now, aren't you Miss Nosy?
About the pig?
No, not about the pig.
Then what about?
Well, just about cleaning up the East Field.
Oh, is that all?
Now, can I go talk to him?
Go ahead if you like.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Call me if dinner gets ready, will you?
Sure will.
Yes, Claudia?
Yes, Claudia, what, Mama?
What was it you were going to say?
When?
Just now, after David left.
Are you a mind reader?
No, I didn't know what you were going to say. I just knew you were going to say something. What was it?
I'm crazy.
Am I supposed to agree or disagree?
Agree.
In that case, it's no news.
I really think I am crazy.
Specifically, why?
Sometimes I think that... Well, it's just that I wish I were Fritz.
That's not so crazy.
I really think David prefers talking to Fritz than to me.
Fritz is a very intelligent person.
Very. And he's intelligent about all the things David's interested in.
You're very lucky.
Animals, crops, land, fertilizer. I can't talk about any of it intelligently.
In spite of it, you managed to talk quite a lot.
Mama, I'm serious.
I know you are.
And then there's architecture. David's love and profession. I don't know a joist from a joist.
You're not an architect.
I'm not anything.
I wouldn't say that.
So I'm a wife and a mother. Anybody can be that.
Yes, anybody can be it, but not anybody can be it successfully.
I wouldn't blame David if he thought I was a terrible bore. All I can talk about is our son. Actually, I don't even know anything about him. The house and...
You haven't had any complaints from David, have you?
Of course not, Mama. I was just thinking, though, that it really isn't all quite fair to David, is it?
What isn't?
I'm not the girl he married anymore.
Aren't you?
He expected one thing, and now he's got another. I'm even getting fat.
Oh, enormous.
Since the baby, a whole inch around my waist. I used to be 24 inches, and now I'm 20.
Now it's 25. It's a tragedy.
There is no doubt about it, Mama. No doubt at all. I am a wife, a mother, even a matron.
I don't think you're as much of a matron as you think you are.
But is it fair to David? Is it what he bargained for? All these responsibilities. His work, his home, a son, a wife who's not only his wife anymore, but a mother as well. Yup, the baby has changed things. I wonder if it wasn't too big a price to pay for what we had when it was only David and I. Just us.
Change is good and healthy.
I don't care about good and healthy. I just care if it's what David wants. It's his life to live the way he likes.
How is it for you, Claudia?
Me? Perfect. But only if it's perfect for David, too.
Well, stop worrying. David will tell you when it's no longer right for him.
He'd better. I love him, Mama. He's all I need. For a man, maybe it's different.
Don't you believe it. Not David's kind of a man.
Still, I wish I were more exciting.
Hey, isn't dinner ready yet? I'm a hungry man.
Good. In 5 minutes, you'll be even hungrier.
What's so good about that?
Do you want me to go and nag Bertha?
Well, why don't you? It'd be pleasant for me to have you nag somebody else for a change.
Ma, you're hilarious tonight.
And where are those confounded matches?
Right where you left them, on the table.
Oh yes. I'm getting to be an absent-minded professor.
Only about your pipe, David.
I hope. All right, Mrs. Brown. Confess.
Confess what?
What are the secrets about?
David, try and talk sense. Don't let Claudia be contagious.
Were you talking secrets?
Well, we're mother and daughter, you know. We have to have a few private talks.
You bet you have, as long as you tell me what they're about.
Hang me by my thumbs, inflict the direst tortures on me. You shall never know.
Well spoken, Grandma. And tell me, Mrs. Brown, is this right for Claudia?
Oh, you too. Is what right?
This life on a farm, it's pretty quiet.
Quiet? Oh, my. David, is it right for you?
Well, we were talking about Claudia.
Isn't it the same thing?
Of course not. She's an individual, the same as I am, but she's still very young. Maybe she's had to grow up too quickly. Living on a farm pretty much alone. Due apologies to you, Mama. Now she has a baby. Maybe it's too much too soon.
You really love to worry about each other, don't you?
Well, I've got to worry about Claudia. She won't worry about herself. Mother, do you think I've made too many sudden demands on her?
What do you think I think, David?
Well, she looks well. She's even put on a little weight. It's becoming. I like it. Your daughter's growing up, Mrs. Brown. She'll be a beautiful woman.
Then stop worrying.
But maybe she should be going to parties, dressing up evenings, seeing people. This is all perfect for me, but I wish I was sure it was all perfect for her. I don't have to tell you she's the center of it.
No, you don't have to tell me. It's strange sometimes how often you have to tell the person you love that you love them.
No, Claudia doesn't use words either.
That child can be awfully dumb. But she has an instinct about the important things.
I'll trade that in for a Phi Beta Kappa key any day.
Did I hear you say Phi Beta Kappa key? David, you never told me you had one.
Yeah, I never told you lots of things.
Well, you better start right now.
What about dinner?
Another 10 minutes.
Then I better not start my life story right now. It's too long.
That's what you always say. I don't think you have a life story. Anyway, I've never heard it yet.
Well, a man's got to have some secret.
Not from his wife.
Thank you, Mama.
Say, darling, I think I've got a better idea for tomorrow.
What?
Why don't we drive into New York? Then we'll be free. We can come back whenever we choose.
David, if you like, I'd love to. You know I love driving next to you all alone together with your pipe in your mouth.
It's the pipe she likes best.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Oh, something else, darling. You better take your best hat if you're driving into town with your best beau.
Oh, darling. In that case, I think I ought to take 2 hats.
Mm-hmm. Put on your 2 heads.
Isn't he sweet, Mama?
All I can say is one hat, two hats. When two people can worry so much about each other, there's nothing to worry about.
Well, not Mrs. Brown if you have a mother, just like Claudia's.
Or a mother-in-law, just like David.
Children, would you stop the blarney and run along and please leave me to my knitting?
Whether you're shopping, driving, or en route to good times, you look for that familiar red cooler whenever you want to enjoy the pause that refreshes. But did it ever occur to you that you have a white cooler right in your own kitchen? There it is, the family refrigerator, just waiting for its supply of Coke to serve as your own private cooler. Keep the refrigerator well stocked with Coca-Cola, and you'll have delicious refreshment ready for yourself, for the family, for hospitable service to guests at all times.
Tell me, Mr. King, have you ever known two people to think so much about each other?
It's very refreshing, Mrs. Brown. Very refreshing.
I'm surprised you didn't say it was as refreshing as a bottle of Coke.
I should have. You're right.
Seriously, every day that I live with Claudia and David, I'm more impressed with their attitude towards each other. And I'm even related to them.
Perhaps that's why.
Perhaps that's why what?
Why they know so much of the art of living.
Mr. King, you're a flatterer.
Nope. I'm an honest man.
The people who say marriage can't be romantic just don't know, do they?
They certainly don't. And I wish all those people could be around tomorrow to learn from Claudia and David just how wrong they are. Well, so long, Mrs. B.
So long, Mr. King.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now, this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere.
August 16th, 1948, Claudia on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. You can hear our shows on my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own, find all of the places where our shows are available via podcast. You can also find our social media links. You can contact me there, and you can join a lot of our fun fans by buying me a coffee. That Buy Me a Coffee money goes towards acquiring more great classic radio shows to bring to you here on your favorite station. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.